Everybody, so much winning. Oh yeah, CNN ate shit. Uh, Here's how it goes. Well, this is actually something that was really hitting me as I was looking at Twitter and seeing the various various people who are liberals, big liberal deal people who, and especially journalists. Like there's all these journalists who are just floundering on Twitter, and it's bizarre that one person will put something out. Some conservative will kind of put rub the liberals' nose in it, and some journalists will well, how about this, and this, and so finally I just had to make it understood. I'm like, motherfucker, do you not understand? Nobody cares. You motherfuckers got caught. This is something that anybody who's on the left and the progressives, if you end up seeing this, you got caught, period. You not just small caught. You've been caught now in your greatest accomplishments are lies. Your militant groups. So really what this is gender militants now and ethno militants. Because that's what Black Lives Matter is, and really that's a big part of the Black Lives Matter thing. Remember, key to this is the constant insistence of Black, trans, and LGBT, and this is always set as a line. This without fail. If there's 5 speakers, by the second one, this has been said multiple times in the speech. That has been at the heart of Black Lives Matter. They will now and then say this or that about some person, say their name, blah blah blah. It always though goes from 0 to the protection of gender marginal, and then Black and people of color. And that's it, people of color. Because you see, they desperately want to include Chinese, Japanese, and Koreans in there. But the Chinese, Japanese, and Korean communities are only growing stronger as they live longer in a society that provides for the rule of law and free enterprise and has high literacy rates. Yeah, that's and I'm sorry, and individual rights. That in particular, it is what makes them particularly stronger. And this means that their long-term multi-generational wealth and health outcomes have stayed consistently good. I know some people would contest this from data from like the Okinawa program, talking about the Japanese and heart disease and stuff like that. But this is, again, they could just go and buy the book, the Okinawa program, change their diet a bit, and they'll reduce that problem. So because they have the purchasing power to eat in a way that won't give them heart disease. Now everybody who's on the right, the libertarians, the Kekistanis, this has been gold. VidCon, huge victory. Steven Crowder said him and his lawyer, they had it on tape when they made everybody in the place shit their Pampers. And the air changed temperature after the question that Steven Crowder asked and the speaker answered. From that point, YouTube, somebody, the lawyers or the business people, took Crowder and his lawyer aside and tried to get them to understand things are hard. Then you look at VidCon and you see what happened to Sargon, but the big deal is, with all these people, what was the key thing, the really important thing, and all the shitlords picked up on this. You were no less than a quarter to a third of the entire audience. That's all that matters. The rest doesn't fucking matter. Oh, but what about this? And you see likes and dislikes, and you see the ratio over time by the various channels. And no, none of it will matter. These are solid trends. These are solid trends. What this is starting to show is that people who have sided super hardcore with this like marginalized organization, marginalized people's brigade on the far left are losing, and they're going to lose. And I mean, it's the plane is flying toward the side of the mountain, and all the suits now, everything I'm seeing says the money, the smarts, the suits, the people who own the platforms, the politicians and the lawyers that really, and the journalists that really understand how much fucking trouble they're getting into. You know, people are getting fired from CNN. That's what you're seeing them pop in the chute. Right now, the people at YouTube, I'm betting, are like, we need to pop the fucking chute on these people. Yeah, there's a couple of these shows that are doing well with a female demographic that's, in its early teens. Yeah, whoop-de-fucking do. Do you not understand? Nobody remembers Jewel. What were the names of those boys in that one boy band? Ronnie, Johnny, Mickey, Mike, Tony, Peter. Nobody gives a fuck. No, this people have money when they're old, and money talks. All the rest of it could take a jog. And so this is going to be beautiful when a whole bunch of these people on the left keep complaining, and they don't get emails back. When there is no longer some organization that sets these policies or something, some department that deals with the complaints about the hate and they said this and that. No, that triggered me. No, the trigger button is going to be gone. The leftists are going to be like, I keep hitting the trigger button. It doesn't seem to be working. I keep calling maintenance. I don't know what's going on, and that's for real. This whole, was it YouTube champions or YouTube heroes or something? They would like get people kicked off of YouTube. There's a lot of people who kind of wonder if Shives might have been one of these people. Yeah, all that's gone. Within the next year. Well, actually, this is my call. Third quarter earnings, and then fourth quarter earnings. Oh, I think there's a lot of stuff by fourth quarter earnings reports, or as it's leading up to the fourth quarter earning reports. There's a whole lot of companies that are going to be like, okay, fuck these people, get them the fuck out of our company. I don't give a fuck. We're cutting HR's budget like by half. We're doing, they're going to have to get product to people. So anybody who can't do a job is going to be gone. In a lot of these platforms, like especially YouTube, I think Google, you're going to see this. I think Google, you're going to see a lot of this, because remember, a big part of why they're helping the Democratic Party is where they live. It has nothing to do necessarily with the people who work for Google. This more and more, it becomes obvious when you have Steven Crowder saying, one of them came up to him and was like, hey, give us time. So this means that there's a whole lot of people, they just want to do the fucking job. They can't do the job if there's some weirdo who's like, okay, what you got to look for is like insults like blue-haired, and then any racial epithet or like sexual epithet. You see, you put those together, you see, then it would be easier for us to find flags and to find things to flag. It's no. These people want to engineer a platform and an informational Yeah, and it's something that has never been done before. They want to do something. They were not hired on to Google and Alphabet and all that to be the fucking Stasi. Nobody wants to be the Stasi, really. People who are political activists want to be Stasi types, not people who are good programmers, not people with high IQs who are like, I could be a part of the secret police back in India. Okay, I'm here in Silicon Valley because I want to do something that could only be done with this company's stuff, and that stuff is ideas. And I mean, it's like nothing that the potential we have, and now the left is solidly. This isn't like somebody being like, holding up, and the Bible says thou shalt not have a VCR pornography movies, and now we're so far beyond this now, where now it's the left saying thou shalt, and Mark said thou shalt not profit off of the spreading and dissemination of information on a platform utilizing digital signals. It's in there. It is in there. Don't worry, Mark's covered it. And it's not going to fly. People are in this to make fucking money. The world's still, the train's got to still run. The lights still got to stay on. Productivity is productivity, and activism always gets in the fucking way of productivity. Just like all these people were shitting and pissing all over Perry today. And Perry, apparently one of the things that he admitted was it's efficiency to not pollute. It's simply efficient. We've reduced emissions simply by engineering things better. Intelligence and entrepreneurial effort and endeavor. And it went into this, multi-generational cultural capital is what's made us improve our lives. And now it's done. This is the week that you could feel the tumblers. I last night there was just like a story or two. I don't even think the Veritas thing. I hadn't seen it yet, but there was this moment. I was like, something moved. Something moved, and Steven Crowder's story was still crunching around in there. And then I started thinking about what Sargon said, and then I'm like, wait a second. The security popped up after Anita called them on Sargon. These people were getting in, they were sitting there in front of all the people they didn't like. They were bantering back and forth, Francesca Ramsey and the Warskis. So I'm like, no, they're done. That YouTube did not protect these people from the crowd, fundamentally. This wasn't like, somebody expecting, this wasn't like Milo needing bodyguards. You didn't need a bunch of non-proud girls, guarding Anita Sarkeesian. You didn't need the Snarkeesian Brigade or something, guarding her. You didn't need the Evergreen Brigade. Yeah, the Evergreen Vigilantes. That bunch. The black dude with the dread. Sorry. Oh, God, I just keep thinking of that picture of the Evergreen people with those bats. God damn it, that was so funny. It's done. Evergreen started, really, put, Nox in the fucking fuel. That shit just went, whoa! It took off. They rolled. The wheels came off. Hubcaps are there's a hubcap, bouncing. It's no. It's in one of those early Road Warrior movies where the tire is, going and going across the desert as, this car lights on fire and it's just bouncing. And you see this tire just going. And one of the most beautiful shots ever. It is so, they did it with Evergreen, and you would think that in some way, everyone on YouTube's they gotta kind of see that they sort of screwed the pooch with this one. This has got to be at some point obvious they've screwed the pooch. When Decoded didn't seem like it was coming back, and suddenly it did, and Lacey Green is red-pilled and stuff. and they're no. They came up somehow. They printed more chips that like no. Now we don't know where the chips are coming from. Like it's like Clintons are showing up and being like, oh, and then vanishing, and more chips. The person's like, I still have more chips to put in. It's gold. It's fucking gold. And the best part of it now is people gave testimony in front of fucking Congress. It's fucking gold. These people gave fucking testimony. That's Leavenworth. That's fucking Leavenworth. This is fucking awesome. And then there's all these people. Wait, minor Democratic, apparatchiki. Did you know when this person testified about this, and this, or when these documents were prepared for their testimony? Were you aware of da-da-da-da-da? You see, at some point, somebody's going to... So many dimes are going to drop. There's already... everything's leaking. The government's leaking like a fucking sieve. So what the Democrats... they... Oh, my God, dude. They all they're smelling now is piss and fish. That must be a fucked up scene, being in a room with Nancy Pelosi and some of those other old fuckers, the old guard, just smelling like piss and fish and mothballs. An ugly scene, but damn it, it is fucking funny as hell. When I was into the Democrats, let me make my confession. I kept thinking, these goddamn baby boomers really, really hate the idea of developing a protege. I really appreciated my teacher because he was into the idea of developing a protege. That was a part of his culture. It took me a long time to kind of really understand that he understood the importance of that. It was personally just hard for him to do it. And to also, you got to pick the right person. They have to have an interest, and you have to shape their interest along a certain lines. This is why it's usually one of those things that proteges best run in businesses that it's basically family. When you're a Lebanese trader, it's easy for you to deal with somebody who's fundamentally like a degree away from being a cousin who's also Lebanese. So they understand, you need somebody to deal with, East Coast to the Mississippi, when you're shipping various things, Lebanese products, because Lebanese traders, the big deal. That's been a long established kind of thing. The Lebanese are just really good go-between people and have been since biblical times or prior. So I was very upset that I was seeing all these old guard Democrats like Pelosi, like Feinstein. Oh my gosh, the Browns. Why were the Browns still around? Why is Jerry Brown around? I mean, dude, he was in a Jello Biafra song. I mean, it was like really one of these things, like, apparently Jello Biafra was the final seal of the apocalypse. Like, that fucking Jerry Brown is his governor. I mean, just... And that it is a tyranny of the fucking hippies. I mean, everything that Jello Biafra said has come true. It's this... They just... Yeah. And I just was sitting there like, why? Why won't you bring up your younger people? It's a young movement. Get the young into offices. Sit back in the shadows. Do the speaking tour circuit. It's hundreds of dollars at a shot. Stop it. And you would see like the Clintons did it. And I'm like, what are you not getting? Pelosi? What are you not getting, Feinstein? What are you not getting, Dean? All this, person after person after person. Their old ass is still there. And especially the black ones. That was the one that really got me, is that you just never, none of them stood up for Ford. When Ford got thrown under the fucking bus, none of them were backing him. Where is he now? And if you don't know who Ford was, you weren't following. He was supposed to be Barack Obama. So look him up. God damn, but interviews with that guy, he was frighteningly sharp. He was amazing. And damn it, he was so close. I even wrote to him once, I think Twitter or something, I said, it was supposed to be you. It was supposed to be you. They threw you under the bus. So, that's what really gets me about it. The Democrats were the ones of anybody. You would think the whole idea is that they were rational, and they would see, we should develop a generation of protégés. Because if we've got the best political product, if we know what policy should be, this should be easy to do. And it would have been. During Obama's period, this should have been easy to do. We should know, there should be nobody with gray hair sitting in there. There should be like one or two senators still. They should have rolled over. There should have been a whole movement to get young, relatively inexperienced Democrats to move through, basically to move through the chair degrees. That's how it works. And these people, they won't leave the chairs. They won't leave the chairs. They want to be worshipful master, and they want to be Tyler forever. They will never stop. They will always be these. Yeah, they get it. They want to run the lodge forever. And the Republicans, they couldn't keep it going because the Republicans operate in a different way. It's a different cultural mindset about, no, did you earn that position? Can you maintain that position? Are you an earner? Because we want outcomes, and you can't get them, so you're out. And it's tougher. It's harder. It sounds like some Soprano shit, but that it to some degree it is, because politics is about getting the policies that you are interested in into law. And yeah, it's got to work that way. The Democrats tried to change fundamental ideology of the basis of American culture. They went for policy in a way that they couldn't do it. They've done it through judges. So remember, there is no gay marriage laws. There is judicial decisions regarding marriage. That's not good enough. You need to change the ideas. You stopped trying to do this. You stopped trying to argue this in a way that was logical. So you didn't start a gay church. You didn't find a church that was some gay religion and then say they have if this is a religious sacrament, then boom, boom, boom. You didn't do that. You guys fucked up. That was the way that you could have gotten it. You could have gotten it in law. Would have been fine. It would have been absolutely fine. And on top of it, you could have had something that would have actually been able to bind the gay community in a way that they would have really felt like they were a part of something. They would have had something that was transcendental. But you guys shot that down, and you had this. These groups exist. I have found them. I know they exist. And you messed it up. So you did the tyranny of the judges route. Then you did the tyranny of the executive branch. And that, oh my God, that's the dumbest shit it's so stupid. And that's why so many people were so against Clinton, because they could not give her that pen, that famous pen of Barack Obama's. Oh, he has a pen. He just writes stuff, and there it is. Caesar says, that's not America. No, you don't vote for the president so he could just do shit by fiat, and that's what was happening. Massive, massive, massive amounts of changes to the fundament of American life that most of the time I just realized after it took only after the first round of 4 years with Obama, I realized most Democrats had no fucking clue what was happening legally. legally, economically. They had no clue what was going on. They didn't know anything about party politics. And now I realize completely, like, no. You can tell Democrats anything. It really is like lying your way into a girl's pants. And if that seems insulting, it's, just deal with it. That is what it's like. It just is what it is. And the Republicans have literally beaten up and thrown members right out of the car at high speed and watched them bounce on the freeway. Like, you failed. You're out. You Vito, you broke my heart. Wasn't that it, Vito, or something? Fredo, you broke my heart. Freddie's dead. Like Isaac Hayes said, Freddie's dead. And so the Republicans and the right and all, remember, you have conservatives who they're conserving something. Oh, I'm conserving that look. Pleated chinos. And then, with penny loafers, brown penny loafers, then there's the right and the libertarians. And there's stuff developing out of that right, that there's the different forms of it. And they're going to be represented. They've got the GOP. They pull on the different elements within the GOP. And now the GOP is really starting to become an interesting party again. It's becoming interesting because of how it has to manage its actual constituents' ideas. The Democrats can't do this. They are organizing riots using non-governmental organizations to fund fundamentally various weird ethno-gender militant groups that just look like shit. I mean, like, that's the worst part about it. It's like, this is a lot of money from what we're finding. Our research into this is not a small amount of money. But it's like, damn, a lot of these motherfuckers look like shit. But those are nice. You guys get nice flags, nice big flags printed up. You get all those bandanas, those ones that are little communist flags. I don't know where you all got those, but you got bunches of them, especially in Seattle and Portland. I know, when I've seen something printed, I've been in an organization that did printing before. That's not cheap to get flags like that. It's not cheap to get signs of that quality. Water is life, too. There's a lot of those shirts that seem to be around. Yes. Those aren't cheap printing. No, they aren't. So we're not stupid. We know that there's a lot of funny business going on, and it's all going on the left. Something stinks. It stinks like piss and fish. A lot of winning going on. Feel the butt hurt, leftists. And for those of you who are having dank lulls, keep it dank, Shadilay, have some fun, smile. And then also wish everybody a fun time. And if they're still over at the VidCon, I don't know if it's done yet. I think it is. But, lend the support to everybody. There's so many videos right now. So much stuff coming out. Wild Smile, Hard Bastard is pumping them out. Sticks, woo! I mean, I don't know if Sticks is going to sleep, man. Oh my gosh, and just so many. There's so many. Kekistani News is just having a great time on Twitter. Pole News Network. Oh man, those guys are just having a blast. You guys really rock. This is really fun. And it's also other deal. Sorry, I was forgetting about this. That big hack thing. I'm going to see what I can find about it. All this hacking that's going on. They're going, it's the Russians, Well, but yeah, we'll see whatever. But if you know anything about it, leave it in the comments. If you've been finding some link videos and stuff, so we could all catch up on whatever this is that they've been going on about all day. Ukraine, was it Ukraine, Spain, Italy? and someplace else all had a bunch of big services and banks hacked or something like that. I mean, we all knew some shit like this was going to go down. X22 said some shit like this had to go down within about the next few days, and that was about 2 days ago. So good call. All right, late.